Yo, what's going on, guys? Jetxc here, and hopefully you guys have been doing good. And this is going to be a pretty important video because it's talking about Lost Sword and its directions, and the devs have acknowledged it as well, right? If you guys don't know, well, I mean, a lot of you should know because there's been a collab that's been going on for the entire month, and to be honest with you, it hasn't been the best. And the reason being is just because there really isn't nothing to kind of look forward to, and I want to get into why that is, right? So let's kind of talk about it because the devs, I'll give them credit, they really are open and communicative, right? So let's take a look. They say, "We sincerely apologize for the disappointment and inconvenience caused to many of you by the recent update, and we are unable to have a satisfying enough collab event with the subsequent pet gym system as well. We also caused concerns about the game's direction. Once again, we sincerely apologize. The development team has also taken your reactions very seriously, and we understand that this is not simply a matter of inconvenience, but one that requires us to reconsider our overall direction. This situation has made us take another look at where we are headed." Now, guys, I talked about this in my past videos, right? The devs really need to lock in on what they want to be. And let's just talk about like the collab real quick. So before the collab came out, they talked about reducing the amount of fatigue for players. So they said, you know what? When you're playing Lost Sword, we are going to make sure that we kind of give our players a break, and we're not going to come out with characters every like 2 weeks or so often. However, the issue with that is the characters are the content. People have gotten to the point where, oh my god, the new character's coming out, we need like 3, 4, 5, 6 copies. Oh look, I'm able to get past this new area that I was stuck at in adventure mode. So now, you know, that's really the content. The content is just you waiting on the new character every 2 weeks and then testing them. And because of that, you know, more than likely, depending on how OP the character is or how it works with your teams that you have, you're able to progress, and that progression is tied to gems, right? Or diamonds, I should say. So the issue here is not necessarily they need to slow down on releases of characters. They need to realize that in order for a lot of characters to be viable in mid to end game, you have to pull so many copies of a character, right? You get a character at +0, then you get one character, you get another dupe or copy. Then you have to use that to essentially get the card for the character, right? And so after you get the card, now you have a second, third, fourth, fifth, and then, you know, possibly if you want, you can awaken. But there's just a collection of copies that you have to get for these characters. And the reason we're doing that is because they're really, really good if you max them out. So what's happening here is just people need a way to get diamonds, or they need to have a system to where, let's say you get a character at Transcendent 3, right? T3 here. If you get this character at T3, every other buff after that is like a minimal buff. As in, if you get a character T3, if you keep getting more copies, the incremental damage is going to be like maybe 5% or 10%, right? It's going to be enough for whales to get excited about, but it's not enough for, you know, casual players or players that are kind of in the middle to want to go that far because they got the optimal amount of damage for their character. They need to figure out what they want to do when it comes to just overall fatigue of players and pulling for characters. That's number one. Number two, the collab itself, at most it was okay, right? I think, and again, I talked about this in my video. When we saw the kits for the characters, we realized this was going to be for newer players, which is fine, completely fine. But the kits are so beginner that it doesn't really help anybody with any of their content, right? This is why even now I only pulled for one copy and the card for the characters just for collection. I'm not going any farther than that, right? And like I said earlier, the characters are the content. So to be honest with you guys, it doesn't feel like there's been much content because the characters aren't really exciting because they're for new players. Now, is that a good thing for Lost Sword, right? This game is 18 plus. They're coming out with like a Maid Cafe system that's supposed to be like casual. You know, it may be like a bunch of cute interactions that they want to do. We didn't get any skins during this collab at all, right? And again, the skins are really popular because it's 18 plus, so they're pretty lewd. And yeah, that was really about it. Instead, we got a pet gen system, which, I mean, you could easily tell that that's for the new Brawl event that's coming up, right? However, the cart came before the horse, and people are worried that this new pet gym system is just another way to kind of like power creep, you know, characters, and it's yet another thing that they have to focus on when it comes to building a character, right? We already have training, we have specialties, we have pulling for the character, we have their car, we have the equipment, and we have leveling them up. And now for the pets, now we have to, you know, lock in on the idea that we may need to use these gyms because it could help with late game content, or like I said, the new Brawl that's coming out, which is the new PvP. It's tough, right? Because the reality of this is, and this is my opinion, a majority of people are casual, right? Like even PvP right now that we have, it's casual. It's extremely casual, and I think that's a fine thing. Coliseum is casual. There's nothing wrong with that. But they have to realize with the casual audience, they have to lean into content that everybody is going to like, right? For example, and sorry if I'm yapping, but I think this is pretty important. But there's two other games you can relate this game to. So Brown Dust 2 and Nikke, I think, are close enough in terms of them having the same audience. With Nikke, they've really hit it big with their 2x2 love event, right? Which is basically like a comprehensive storytelling where you get to actually interact romantically with the characters. Is that a direction they want to go in? Because their character designs, I've praised them so many times that they have so many great character designs, but do we want to have more interactions with those characters story-wise? Like, let's do some events where Ethan really gets to interact, you know, it could be romantically, sexually with these characters, and that feeds a lot of the story people and casual players as well. Also, on top of that, are we going to pump out more skins? More skins would probably be a good thing. Even though it's paid content, a lot of people really like the skins. There's a voting event going on right now, and look at some of the skin options that they have. Workout, SM, Office Look, Daily Look. These are skins that they haven't really introduced yet, right? Workouts would be popular. They need to release one. S&M would be popular. They have to do that, right? Like, they really need to realize if they want to keep those casual players, especially ones that pay every now and again, they need to come out with more skins. It's crazy that there hasn't been a skin in this whole month. So, yeah, it's a really interesting situation that they're in, but I think the direction they really need to go into is a more casual direction, and the pet gym system just really isn't helping with that. And they said they talked about removing it, but it looks like they're just going to reduce fatigue. So keep that in mind. Let me know your thoughts, and let's just kind of read through these dev notes here, right? So, notice regarding the pet system. We are all aware of many concerns surrounding the pet gym system. This system was designed as a growth structure alongside the Brawl content, so at this point, it's difficult for us to withdraw from the system itself or completely overhaul it. However, we believe our most important task right now is to reduce the burden and dissatisfaction of Swordbringers that are feeling towards it. To that end, we quickly move forward with improvement in the following direction. So, they're going to reduce the burden of acquisition growth, so they're going to add gym boxes to mission rewards. Easy gym fasting difficulty. They plan to reduce difficulty of gym fasting by adding ways to obtain it other than diamonds, and then adjusting the square gym stats from block to critical damage. So the reason why people are feeling fatigue from this and why people are unhappy is because it's yet another growth structure that they've added, right? And I'm gonna be honest, right? Like, the pet growth system is also a little bit predatory because in order to take advantage of it, you need copies of these pets. And most people are not getting multiple copies of pets. They'd rather get multiple copies of the character. So this is for in-game players, sure, but at the same time, those that are trying to get better are looking at this like, oh my god, okay, another system that I may need to use in order to buff up my characters. Casuals aren't gonna like this, right? And I think the cart came before the horse because they really didn't explain it enough in detail. Um, Telling people that this was more for endgame and the new brawl mode coming out. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, right? I think the pet gym system, it's a little bit rough, but we'll see how these improvements go. But again, this is going to be tough because there's already so many things people are trying to develop when it comes to this game, right? So many resources that we have to keep up with. The gym information tooltip will be improved. A UI option to show gyms with the same element as the selected pet will also be added. So again, great overhaul. We'll see how it works out. About the collab. So many of you told us that the Simran Kagura collab did not live up to expectations. The development team is taking this seriously. While it's difficult to expand the amount of collaboration content at this stage, for those of you who felt disappointed, we are prepping April event with a greater number of events and rewards that you can more clearly feel. In particular, the April event is celebrating April Fool's Day, and it's been prepared with a focus on providing an experience that is light and fun while still offering meaningful rewards. So I like that, right? They're creating content that people get to participate in. This is what they should be doing more of, right? But it depends on what that content is, right? Like, is it going to be a focus on the characters, or is it just going to be an event where you go through a bunch of stages and clear out the story to collect the currency, right? It really depends. But let's just see where this goes, and let's just keep going, right? So Karashara, right, which is the new red dragon girl, very cute. I think great design. I really like it. So in the second April update, a new character, Karashara, is coming. So this is in the 2nd of April, okay? She is the guardian dragon of the Kingdom of Britannia. We have prepared her as a character with powerful lore and strong appeal. So it's not April. This character is coming at the second half of April. And what did I tell you guys? The content right now is characters. So whatever they're coming out in early April in terms of content, we really have to see what that's going to be. Because I think that's going to be indicative of what they can do when there isn't a character that is coming out within the beginning of the first patch. So let's see, right? But keep that in mind. She's going to be coming in the second half. So we have the first half where we get no new character. Now, we get her animations and all that stuff. Her costume, cool. And then also, oh wow, I'm going to have to block some of this out. But she's getting a memorial costume. Now, I know some people, you know, are going to complain that it's a memorial costume. It is what it is. It's in every game right now where, you know, all your waifu games got the fucking skin that costs like anywhere between $30 to $60. So cool, a memorial costume. Let's be hopeful that, you know, the interactions are really good, but I believe that they'll deliver. But I want to say this is something that people do like, and I really think they should kind of focus on the waifu aspect of the game since they're marked 18 plus. And I think memorial costume is one of the good things that they do, but they need more similar to it. Or that harps on the fact that, you know, it focuses on character appeal. So, Maid Cafe is coming, and Maid Cafe is looking to be pretty good, right? So, Maid Cafe is not just a simple growth feature, but a space designed for enjoying interactions with characters and its atmosphere. This, I think, is going to be one of their modes that will be in a very good direction because it's designed basically for character appeal and interactions with that character, right? So by ordering food from Rita, you can raise your Maid Cafe membership levels and gain buffs. In addition to those core growth elements, we also are preparing content through lovely Maid Rita's Love Show, where you can obtain characters and pets. This will be interesting. We'll see how this works. So the Maid Cafe is not simply a place to collect rewards, but something we plan to develop in content where you can stay a while and enjoy the character's charm and overall atmosphere. They need more of this, in my opinion. Focus on character charm because, like I've been saying, the game is casual. But let's kind of leave it at that and continue. We will continue to add various presentation elements to strengthen the uniqueness of Maid Cafe. That is a crazy image. Oh my goodness. And yeah, they've got comic book releases coming up. Luera is getting yet another cutscene update. I guess they've been unsatisfied with Luera. And maybe some people have too. So, hey, we'll see. Um, Honestly, if I'm them, just try and show every part of Luera's, uh, you know, try to show the best parts of Luera and kind of leave it at that. So it looks like they're doing that with this cutscene again here. So we'll see what happens. Now, April Fool's event, they prepared an event and they've got like a mini game where you're basically catching the chicken and you can earn special rewards. Round table passes returning for people that are trying to get to 300s. So that's coming back. Balance improvements. It looks like Asteria will be getting a buff in the first part of April, so that'll be interesting. And then end of story part 1, right, approaching its climax, and we get a lot of images here that are pretty great. It looks like we've got an expanded abyss floor for 80. And then we got some images regarding, it looks like Kay over here is getting a new costume coming up. So that's pretty cool. Once again, we sincerely apologize for the disappointment caused by the previous update. The situation has made us reflect on the direction. Once again, going forward, we want to focus more on experience expected of the Isekai Gacha title by strengthening elements centered around character charm and stories such as skins, voice acting, and lobby guests. We will continue development in a direction that allows Storebreakers to feel more attached to the game. This is what they need to do. And then as an apology, they're doing a skin contest, right? But they need to come out with a survey and let us go into a deep dive of what we want to see from this game, because I like what they're saying here, right? Like, this is an Isekai Gacha title, and we want to strengthen things with story, skins, voice acting, lobby guests, which is basically the players enjoying the new female characters that come out, right? There needs to be way more interaction with that, and then let the whale players enjoy their brawl mode, which, by the way, we'll even see how that fares. I don't know how good it's going to be, but we'll see. But yeah, guys, that's enough yapping from me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, because I do think the devs have to lock in this year on where they want to take this game, because it's not, if I'm being honest, it's not a very serious PvP game. The most serious thing people do is trying to get through adventure content. I think what makes this game great are the character designs, the skins, the voice acting, the different character personalities, and honestly, the interactions that you get in the lobby with Memorial, and some of the more lewd, romantic story elements that are in the story as well. So they gotta really lock in. But let me know what you guys think in the comments, man. I am out. Later.